What guides your design approach to create spaces that not only look good, but feel good as well?
I think a lot of it's like I'm very much a from the gut designer. I don't really have expectations about what's looking good when I start a project, but what I found is that I get excited. As soon as there's like an energy to an idea or something that starts to look good, I get excited. And then I think that excitement starts to translate into the way I can project that idea onto the client, and hopefully they get excited. And so I think there's an excitement to stuff that's looking good versus stuff that's looking bad.
Jamie, how do you incorporate unique and limited elements that tell a story in your work?
So we're still working on this one job, and the client likes ashtrays. She I don't know, is obsessed with ashtrays. But we actually went out of our way to find these incredible ashtrays. And we at Christie's, there was this Jean sort of ashtray on this mount. It was fantastically expensive. It's not something that is, you would know from the naked eye of that brings meaning, but it brings meaning to the clients, and it's something that I like that as a challenge. And I think it's super inefficient. It might not aesthetically go where you plan, but I do think that's some of the success that we've had, because the clients end up trusting us at the end of the day, and not only feels money.
What do you do when a client's taste clashes with your design values, especially around sustainability or well-being?
Our clients are coming to us for a reason, and we're working with them for a reason, right? And there's this whole sort of dating kind of courting going on in the beginning. Are you right for me? Are you right for you? We're really trying to know our clients. We're trying to invite them into our family and be invited into theirs. And in that process of knowing, it feels really good when you feel seen, right? Like all of us just want to feel seen. And so I think when they feel seen, there's this elevated level of trust.
Do you guys have the confidence to say no to some clients who you just know are not going to be the right fit? And a follow-up question, does that take quite a bit of time to build up to as well? Because I can imagine, obviously, in any early business, studios, firms, it's hard to say no, right? You just want to take the work and build your portfolio, but how do you approach that?
We try to be really thoughtful about that, and I think you kind of know. I think you know on some guttural level whether it's going to be a relationship that is going to endure the 4 years or whatever it is.
How do you design for both essential and social aspects of a space, and in particular a kitchen space as well?
Understanding the environment is really important, but understanding the lifestyles and the ways that people are going to use those appliances is really critical. It's really important about how the product looks, but it's also about how it works, and it's about how it feels as you use it, and it's about how it makes you feel.
In your experience, what are clients really asking for when they mention sustainability? Are they often truthful? Do they really mean it? Or is it a bit of a buzzword to clients? Or are they being genuine and authentic as well?
The closest we can get to sustainability is building for permanence.
Yeah.
And not building to recycle. Actually builds up to last 100 years.
The thing that we can control or try to control, have some modicum of control over is, what Noah was saying about doing something meaningful, like building something meaningful within 100 years of conversation, and hopefully, in as much as we can, predict the future or not, hopefully the conversation is, let's hang on to this thing.
How would you describe sustainability in our approach, down in New Zealand and Australia? Do you think it's quite different?
Everything's really at the forefront of a lot of thinking architects and design designers, and maybe these clients, but these are also specific clients that are very motivated clients. You want to be really clear on your statements. You want to be the truth is behind that, and there's I guess a lot of greenwashing and things like that. So real caution around making sure that that's on our position, recognising the climate crisis and then starting to find ways to talk about it and work through it are really important.
designs, and I think less so ashtrays, but more so material and architecture, and design and art and objects. How important is that to you and your clients as well about like the one-offs or the exclusive elements to it?
It's not like a conscious decision to sort of necessarily make something unique, but in the process, we end up doing either because we get allowed to do very custom things for clients, like they're game for it, or they really will have an interest once they get on board with making something special, whether it's just discovery for them in the house or just talking points. But we end up doing a ton of custom hardware. It's fun to sort of make something special that maybe we'll review somewhere else, but usually not. Usually it's for that particular house, for that particular client. But it usually comes out of necessity. We're all trying to create crafted, beautiful spaces, but it just becomes like crazy expensive to have something special.
Do you still have that appreciation for the custom side of things when you know, hey, it looks great on paper, but now I've got to go put it together?
I think that's one of the things about our clientele too, is that a lot of them are looking for one-on-one or like the stuff that nobody else has. It was a very special thing, and so we kind of try to thread that needle to ensure customization.
I think you have to have a client that's sort of willing to accept that there's going to be, it's a process, right? And there's an easy choice, and it's not the custom thing, right? The right choice is the custom thing, but it's the hard choice. They have to be willing to endure that pain and suffering with us.
How do you balance the overt and subtle expression of luxury in your designs as well?
Luxury is a word that I've never used, and I don't think a client's ever gone to us and said, we want luxury. So it's like, does that come up for you, like luxury? Like,
no. But it sounds weird coming from out of your mouth.
Like luxury. Yeah. What is luxury?
From an outsider, your stuff is luxurious.
Sure.
It's extravagant.
Yeah.
It's extravagant.
It's extravagance. You build extravagance.
Yeah. Again, back to that first comment about getting excited about stuff.
Yes.
And then you can kind of run away with it a little bit. So everybody gets excited about it. Next thing you know, it's like, I guess luxury because it's gone there, If you end up with something that's luxury, that's great, but it's never been a criteria in our office to create luxury. That's a byproduct of what we do.
How do you stop it from going, clients saying I want it bigger and bolder and crazier, because I feel like there is that point where it's like, this is too much.
I think one of the themes of tonight was that this notion of quite luxury brand, which we're talking about, and that's sort of like probably started in fashion, right? Where it's like luxurious people that want to wear always have labels or kind of signify their wealth anymore, right? So now it's happening in architecture too, where nobody wants to be branded as that, So it's like, how do you do it quietly? Like what are those signifiers? And there's probably a lot of them. We can probably look around and debate, like, what is it that kind of they're looking for? But like, certainly there's certain boxes that they're wanting to check. Is it wellness? Is it biophilia? Probably. Is it having like a scullery? Like we're talking about like a kitchen that doesn't look like a kitchen. There's starting to be those sorts of things that they're looking for. They kind of define it for them.
In what ways is luxury attainable? And how does this align with challenge traditional definitions of the word?
It's really about wants and needs, and so we have basic needs, and as a community here, we need a roof, we need these things, but it can actually be aesthetic, it can actually be really considered for that person. And I think the more nuanced views of luxury nowadays are actually not about the statement piece, they're not about showing off, and it's really great to kind of take those considerations into play about making time, those little luxuries that altogether accumulate and make a lifestyle lived. And I think that those are meaningful for all of us, and ideally for your clients. And so that's, I guess, how I like to think luxury.
Beyond modernism, what other design philosophies, such as biophilic design, sustainability, or inclusive urbanism, should shape the future of LA's cities, communities, and homes? How might these concepts be meaningfully integrated into LA's rebuild?
Our work is the single family home, just acknowledging that, and our passion is the single family home, and obviously the single family home is seared into the DNA of Los Angeles. We should just be as sure as we can be that we're doing something that's meaningful and enduring, because construction it requires a tremendous allocation of resources, and there's really no way around that right now.
How do the doctrines of rationalism and modernism integrate with today's design trends and the needs of your clients?
For me, you become biased, and especially as you get older, I feel like you find a lane of certain tenets of architecture that ring true to you. But I feel like, as cliche as it is, these simple homes that are very indoor outdoor, that really embrace the garden, and as Erika was talking about, like, it is a place of single family homes, and extending that as much as possible. Most of the clients that we get, they might not be able to express it, but they know something deep down that like resonates with them.
What does the future of design look like to you, and how can we make sure it's better for both people and the planet?
We're sort of this generation, sort of moving to the city, or sort of making our mark of and living in a very transient place. We're trying to inspire beauty and sort of like meaning in the built environment, and I think there's a real place for that. But I do find at times meaning and history and all of these sorts of things that we place a high value on is about standing still. And I'm going back to see my parents, and they live in the same house since 1960, and it's filled with like family treasures and like, but it's such a different mindset than what we do, and it's weird because you still yearn for that, or this sort of idyllic place of everybody trying to go home. Because I feel like sometimes, we have these long-term clients that they move, or they do a third house, we do all this stuff, and we get excited and we want to do it, but that it's the least sustainable thing you could possibly imagine.
I mean, I think we're kind of on the eve of like a lot of disruption in design, right? Because this AI monster is coming, right? It's all of our jobs, supposedly, which I should think like. But one thing that I've heard tonight, like kind of in the background, is this notion of time, right? And like supposedly AI is going to make everything happen really, really fast. But I do think, conversely, like the kind of work that we do, and also the kind of clients that we work with, typically kind of understand that these things take time. And so like I think that there will probably be also an equal reaction to AI, coming up, where that maybe like 90% of the world becomes AI driven, and we're just like a lot of really cheap, fast architecture happening and design happening, but there will always be this pocket for lack of a better word, I actually hate the word bespoke too, like luxury, but like there will be people that value things that take time, right, and take effort and take originality and that sort of thing. So I don't think that that's going away. Hopefully that becomes like a pocket of really great work that can continue in the face of this disruptive creature. It's coming for a lot of what we do.
I think that we can't trust any imagery that we see anymore already. We're looking at things, we're all looking at the same things or slight iterations of the same things, and we don't know what's real. And like, I feel like even a year ago, I could tell, I knew what was real, and now I thought I knew. And now I really don't. And so I think that the pendulum swing is gonna be that, I don't know, maybe this is just wishful thinking, but that what you said, but that the only thing that we'll be able to trust are like things that are like literally built in front of us, the things that we can touch, and humanity will be this finite resource, right? And human intelligence will be this finite resource. When superintelligence comes for us.
All of what you're saying makes so much sense. and if I think about it as people and planet or place, like it's about us actually caring for people and place. And I know a lot of your clients, like the reason they're building projects in these spaces are because they love that place and they imagine these lives that they want to have there. And I think that luxury and what we care for will be about experiences and about things that are crafted or that we can see, and about that meaning. And that is really special and what we need to value going forward.
Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And can we please give our panelists a round of applause?